Hello, I'm really honored to spend some time in your company today. I'm Angelina Ana Rinaldi, high performance coach, and today we will speak about the secrets of how to have an amazing relationship. The fields of my expertise as a high performance coach include the secrets of magnetism, manifesting techniques, mind over matter principles, and living your full potentials. I'm the author of the book The I Eat book, where I represent 10 principles how to introduce healthy food to your child. The work that I work include personal contact with people from business sphere that are under a lot of stress during their daily activities. But today we're not talk about stressful situations, we will talk about different situations, different stages in a woman's monthly cycle. What's in it for men? Men will have a practical, unique manual of how we women feel and act during different parts of the month. And women, we will try to understand ourselves more, because if we understand ourselves, we can easily explain this to people around us, to our partner, to our friend, to our co-worker. So, the hint for everything that we will talk about today will be something that we always have by our side. It would be our hand. More explicitly, I will talk about the four fingers system. The four fingers system has a base in Chinese traditional medicine. Savinati and Amantak Chia lecture about this a lot, and divides the four fingers that you see into four stages of a woman's monthly cycle. It represents also the 4 weeks of a woman's monthly cycle. So the first week, the second week, the third and the fourth week. Starting with the first day of menstruation and finishing with the last day and the next menstruation that comes after that. So, representing you, one of the, I dare to say, most useful tools to see how we women feel and act in different stages, and for men to understand us more. So, where do we start? Before we go through each and every phase, women that do not have menstruation, that are in menopause, observe the lunar cycle, where the full moon represents ovulation, the highest of your energy. I will explain where that is, and the empty moon represents the menstruation, the first drops of blood. Okay, so let's have this in our mind. So the four finger system, and where do we start? With the first drops of blood. And if we take the analogy, as this is the smallest of the fingers, and if we take the analogy from the nature, this would represent winter time. Imagine it as winter hibernation mode of a woman. Women could tell me easily that they don't feel themselves, that they feel sometimes like the whole world collapsed on their head. They don't feel the best. They have the least amount of energy in all the cycles, all the parts of the month. So that's why the smallest finger, that's where we start. Advice for women. This is a hibernation phase. it has to be there for you to regenerate, to step back from the world, to read a book or two that's waiting for you on that shelf for the past month or year. Do nothing. Or I usually say take the day off. Do whatever feels right for you. Don't go out and run around and do all necessary and unnecessary things. It's not the time for that. I know it's a hard thing to do with a child, 2 or 3 in these days, but if we can explain this to our partners, and now men are listening too, maybe we could pull it off easier. Advice for men. As now we know, we don't feel the best in this period of the month. We are pretty tired, and if you can help us regenerate and have the moments for ourselves, we will really appreciate it. We tend to be more crying in this stage. We are not feeling ourselves. We don't feel that we are beautiful enough. It's not the time to solve any hard issues or anything. Just the best advice for us, for you men, would be just step back a bit, leave us alone, or give us a hug if we need it, or if we need a talk with us, but basically we would need some time alone. So if this would be winter time, let's go to spring. The energy rise is pretty steep here. As you see, the second finger is much higher than the first one. If this was winter, this would be spring, the follicular phase of a woman's cycle. The rise of estrogen and testosterone are quite steep here, so the libido is pretty high. Men, you would see your woman here as almost your body. You could invite her for that high intensity interval training if you would like to. She is a problem solver. There's nothing that she cannot do here. She's like a teenager with full of energy. She can do everything she decides to. She's the best to hang out with. So advice for women would be just go with the flow, ride the wave, enjoy it. Stay focused, stay productive, do all goal setting that you have to do for the whole year in advance. Do everything that feels good in this stage. Men, ride the wave as well, just enjoy it. And if there's any problem solving that you have to do it somewhere here. There is nothing she cannot solve at this stage. Everything is possible, okay? So that you know how it feels when she's here. So if this was springtime, let's go to summertime. If I put my fingers together, you would clearly see that this one is the highest of all of them. It represents the summertime, and if you imagine it like a flower that was starting to blossom in spring and now is fully opened, this represents the full essence of a woman. She's not playful like she was before and problem solver. She's a magnetic woman. You will feel the essence of her. If she was solving things here on a way that was pretty similar to how you men would do it, here she solves problems on her own way, the magnetical way. She has different feelings, different touches. She's maybe more creative, more sensible. She's like an enchanting, beautiful, amazing, magnetical woman. If she had enough rest here and enough goal setting and playfulness here. So, advice for women, explore your women's senses. And advice for men, ride with her, enjoy her. She is the most representative in like from women's sense that she can be. So just enjoy your woman. So the thing to mention is this is also the phase of ovulation. I mentioned it at the beginning. So this is the phase where women also tend to have higher libido. So summer and springtime tends to go to autumn, where the energies drop a bit. This the fourth stage, with according to analogy from nature, from winter, spring, summer go to the autumn. This is actually the week before the next menstruation, and it's usually described as pre-menstrual phase. I'm explaining that to you because you probably heard about it, and you will connect it more with if I mention it here. So if I hide the 3 fingers of these and I only show you this one, men have probably sensed how a woman 1 week before her menstruation acts. She tends to say how she wants certain things to be done, how she wants to do certain things. She is setting the boundaries. She's like a queen on her throne, with her throne, sitting there saying how she wants the things to be. Usually could be that she is a bit more irritable, not feeling the best. She can be very creative and productive if she rested a lot, if she went through all of the stages of her men senses where she was productive, and if she went through her stage where she could be a woman. So the stage that we are facing the last, women, it's nothing's wrong if you say how you want the things to be. This is a great thing. Just be careful that you're not too aggressive while setting the boundaries, that you don't cut too many heads off. Men, try to understand us. Try to explain that you're on our side, that you're our team player, that you're not playing tennis with us, but you're playing doubles with us, that you're on our side of the net. And if it does not compromise too much what you believe in when you talk with her about certain things, just try to go along with her. Try to say you understand her, you support her, and don't go into any conflicts. Don't solve any conflicts here. It's not the time. So try to understand us, support us, or one of the maybe best advice would be step back. There's nothing you can expect from us here if you go into conflict with us. So we went through all the stages. What I would like to ask you is, women, start observing yourselves. You will see how the stages are fluid between each other. We also have the 5th finger on our hand that represents the finger, the organ in our body that enables the phases to be more fluid. So each phase does not start with the 1st day and with the 7th day and the 14th and the 21st day, but they each start a bit earlier and they're fluid. So if you observe yourself and if you're sensible with what's happening, you will know exactly in which phase you are and act accordingly. And men, I'm asking you to go back home and to ask your woman, your friend, what was the last day that you had your first day of menstruation? So let's say she says that her first day of menstruation was 5 days ago. So 5 days ago, so that means that she's in the 5th week. So this is the first week that Angelina was talking about, because this is the first week, the second, the third, and the 4th week. So the 5th day would be, to analogy, in the 1st week. So if she's in this stage, let me observe her. How does she feel? Does she feel like she would like to hide from the world, that she is still not feeling good? Or she might be somewhere heading to this stage where she would feel with more energy, with power, with feeling alive. So maybe if that's the way, you could invite her to do that high intensity interval training with her if you want to. And let's take it from the other side. Let's say she says she is just expecting to get her period. So let's say she is in her 23rd day. So it means that she's somewhere here. What does that mean? She's in the week before the menstruation. You have two options. Either you support her, completely understand her, or you explain to her that there's nothing you have against her, that you're her team player, and that you're just there for her. Or you just step back and just observe her, let her do her job. So, hopefully this was the most comprehensive, the easiest, the most useful tool that you heard, and that you could start using it at home, women with observing yourselves and men with using it. So go back home and start using your 4-finger system.